Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got a question here from Vince about joining a startup and learn about VCs in my country. So Vince says here, he says, my dream is to be financially independent by becoming a serial entrepreneur, and some of my ideas would need investors to get successful. Is it a mistake to join a young company as a software developer for 6 to 12 months just to learn everything I can in this time span about angels and VCs, funding processes, etc. in the country/city? So this is a great question, I think. I can kind of expand this question to, does it make sense to work for a company to learn about something or apprentice under someone before you go out and try to do that thing on your own? Abso-freaking-lutely. There's nothing better than getting training and getting paid to get that training. And that's what you're doing in this case here. So if you want to figure out how to pitch VCs and get startup money and get funding, it probably makes a lot of sense, if you can, to help someone or watch someone do it. So if you can join a small enough company where they're doing this and you can get yourself involved in the process, absolutely, you're going to gain so much knowledge, right? If you can ever shadow someone, if you can ever actually do what someone's doing and follow them around and basically, gain experience that way, that's almost the best way. That's like the job training. That's almost the best way to gain experience. That's that whole apprenticeship model, right? We don't have a lot of that today. But back in the day, with blacksmiths and shoemakers and all the other types of fields, I guess we still have that in medicine a lot today. But what would happen is they would have an apprentice, a journeyman, or he'd be an apprentice and he'd become a journeyman and then become a master. And the way that they would progress through that is by following, basically shadowing, basically seeing how the blacksmith does his work and learning that way, and then possibly improving upon it as they go into the mastery. But they spend a lot of time working under someone before they go and set up their own shop. And so I think that's a great idea. I don't think you have to do this, right? I think there's a lot of ways to just start to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and figure this out. But I think for a lot of people, it makes a lot of sense, especially, and here's the difference between if you're approaching your job, if you're approaching what you're doing as an apprenticeship, which I personally believe that everyone in their career should approach it as an apprenticeship, that they shouldn't say that I'm going to permanently for the rest of my life work for someone else. I think that they should think, okay, I'm going to go and work for someone and learn how the sausage is made. I'm going to learn how that I can start my own company and how I could do these things myself by seeing something that's already working, is already successful, and then I'm going to go out and build my own thing. Now, I know that's not for everyone. That's just my personal belief, is that how we should treat our careers, that they're meant to be apprenticeships, and then we eventually go out on our own. But you don't have to subscribe to that. But if you take a job with that approach, right? I think there's a lot of people that they take a job in software development or whatever it is, and they take the job thinking, I'm just going to do this until I can go and do the thing that I really want to do. And that's sort of a bad approach, because you're sort of splitting in different directions. Yeah, you may learn some stuff on your job that you're going to use to start your business or to do whatever that you really want to do. But why not think about the job itself? Why not think about the work that you're doing as an apprenticeship as something that's actually going to benefit you for what you want to do in the future? And I think if you just have that mindset, and you can even take your existing job and do that, is you can change your mindset to say, look, what I'm doing now, I'm trying to learn as much as possible. It's not about getting the job done and getting the paycheck and making it through the day, my 9 to 5. It's about learning. What can I learn, right? Can I go and can I talk to my manager and the CEO, or can I get involved in the company in some way so I can learn the business, so I can learn the process, so I can learn what it takes to run a company, so I can learn what it takes to run a software development shop? Can I talk to the architects and learn how they build the architecture for the system, right? Can I learn these things because I want to learn these things in order to be able to do them myself someday or to become better? And so how you approach the job is really important. If you're just getting a job to fill time, or because you need a career, or because you're biding your time until you can do what you really want to do, it seems like a waste of time, right? If I were in prison, I wouldn't sit in the prison cell just twiddling my thumbs waiting. I think I'd be getting my law degree, I'd be reading a lot of books, I'd be preparing myself for the outside world. But I think a lot of people, they go to their jobs, and to some people, it is a prison. I consider working a 9-to-5 job a prison in my current mindset. I know some of you don't like that, but that's just how I view it now. But a lot of you go in there and you just twiddle your thumb. You're just biding your time until you can be free, financially free, or whatever it is, and independent, or do your own thing, or do something you really want to do. And you're missing an opportunity. You're wasting time, right? Why sit there in the prison cell twiddling your thumbs when you could be reading books, when you could be getting your law degree and getting yourself out early, or you could be gaining some kind of skill or knowledge? You don't just have to waste the time. You don't have to just pass the time and wait for it to pass. So I think this is a great idea to do that, to join a startup. You just want to be careful, like I said, that you'll actually get the opportunity to get insight into VCs and the startup community and getting money and funds, and you're not just so you're not just working a job for a company that's in the startup phase. I don't think that's going to give you enough information. You've got to be able to actually get in there and see how things are working. Otherwise, it's not really going to benefit you that much. I mean, there'll be some benefit working just for a startup that's in this stage, but you want to be able to try to get those connections, right? Think about it as again, the apprenticeship. And so you got to go and you got to talk to the CEO. You got to talk to the people that are raising funds. You got to get more information than you would as just an employee who's just biding his time, sitting in the prison cell, twiddling their thumbs. Anyway, I hope that you find that useful. It's a great question, and I wish that more people would take this approach, because it makes a lot of sense to me, right? You can save a huge amount of time just by modeling someone, as Tony Robbins would say, who's already done what you want to do, who's already successful. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below, and you can model me as I trip up and make mistakes, and teach you about the lessons I learn as I am on a constant mission to improve myself and to just get better at what I'm doing. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.